go again, Community Storytelling. I'm Lissa Kreisler, and I know you know the man next to me. I probably don't even need to say his name, but Tom O'Donnell. Tom O'Donnell, wow, let's see, where do we begin with you? And I think probably half of Los Gatos does know you. What do you think?
I doubt that, but I've been around a long time.
You're being modest. You're being way too modest.
I'm being practical.
So let's see, where do I start? First off, how many years have you been in Los Gatos?
I moved into Los Gatos in 1971.
1971. Are you still in the same place?
Oh no, I had a home near here, and then, well, there's a history behind it, but after 40 years in that home, I sold it, and now I live about half a block from here.
Oh,
and condominium.
And when we say here, Los Gatos High School, KCAT
Right.
TV 15, if you did not know, is on the grounds of Los Gatos High School.
Yeah, so I could walk over today.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, you look good for walking over.
Well, I can still walk.
So you are a retired attorney.
I am.
What now? That I'm not familiar with. What kind of an attorney?
Well, at the end of almost 50 years of practice, I was principally doing environmental law and real estate.
Wow, the good stuff.
Yeah, my clients spent a lot of money teaching me environmental law.
You know, I say that's the boring stuff, though.
Oh, environmental law is very interesting.
Well, yes, it is, but not to just hear, bedtime stories.
No, you don't chat about it. That's true. But being a lawyer, it's fascinating what you're dealing with, because a lot of science, and I wasn't not great in science. I became a lawyer, not an engineer, but I enjoyed it.
There you go. There you go. And I know you were on the Los Gatos Unified School District Board for, was it 2 decades, even more than that, I think.
Almost 22 years.
And in fact, the district building is now named after you.
That was very nice of them, yes.
So that means you did something fabulous. You did many fabulous
Well,
things.
if you stay long enough, it was like a package deal. If you will please retire, we'll name a building after you.
No. I know firsthand it does not always work like that. But wow, so Los Gatos School District Board. Tell us about some of the changes that you saw.
In the school district?
Yeah.
Well, it used to be a lot easier in those days.
To be in school or?
To be in the school board.
Yes.
And to actually run the school. Over the course of my 22 years, I worked with 4 or 5 superintendents, and they're not all the same. Some are better than others. You always have money problems, but my observation at the moment is life is more complex. Parents, we have a number of helicopter parents, which we didn't have so much of when I was there. And so that makes everybody, it's not as relaxing. So maybe it keeps you on your toes better, but I liked it better when we were a little more relaxed.
Yes.
And that's for the 22 years I was on. We had tension sometimes, but now it seems more tense. And so that's the difference I saw. And then, of course, during that time, we did a lot of building. We had a $90 million bond issue pass, which allowed us to redo each of the schools in the district.
Fabulous.
So the people of Los Gatos have been really supportive.
So my passion is education. I, for years, was PTA president or PTG president. I'm now on the board at Presentation High School. I love education. I got involved because of my daughters. Is that how you got involved too?
I have 4 children, 3 of whom have gone all the way through the Los Gatos schools. And my youngest daughter, is now a teacher in the district. Another daughter is a teacher in Portland. A son-in-law is a teacher. My sister's a teacher. So I was predisposed to be respectful very, very respectful of education and teachers.
Do you ever wish you were a teacher?
No. I find that's a very hard job.
It is too hard.
And you have to have infinite patience, which I've been known not to have. So.
It's too hard, the pay's not good, and you have parents always mad at you, right?
Yeah, or maybe not mad at you, but
Well,
putting pressure on you.
exactly.
Why did you only give him an A-
Yes.
when he should have had an A+?
That's a better choice of
When
words.
you see young people, and I'm in Rotary, and we give scholarships every year, and I've dealt with a lot of the scholarship winners, and they'll have 4.5 and 4.6 averages, which I find bizarre, because
Right.
it used to be an A was as the best you could do.
Yes.
Not anymore. So the pressure is different.
It is very different, very, very different. And I can tell you're an attorney, and I'm not, because you have a better choice of words, much more diplomatic than I am. So now Planning Commission. You have been on the Planning Commission also forever.
Well, this is my 4th term, so each term is 4 years. So I'm in my
16 years.
Well, if I live long enough, when I'm through, that'll be 16 years.
You will,
yeah.
you will. So, oh my goodness, Planning Commission. What is the biggest issue facing Los Gatos right now?
Well, the North 40 was the biggest issue, and I suppose the other one that rivals it is traffic.
Beach traffic, might you say?
Beach traffic, but any traffic. I talked to a friend of mine this morning that had a doctor's appointment nearby, and she made the mistake of having an 8:15 a.m. doctor's appointment, and our Highway 9 and everything is severely impacted, totally unrelated to the beach traffic. So you don't want to have to cross Highway 9 at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So that's a problem that is not just beach traffic. Beach traffic is awful, but every day isn't so good.
What can be done, if anything?
Well, I think the town, in closing the access by the hardware store, did the only thing they could immediately do, and I live downtown, so it's great for me. It's not good for people who live out a little further out, but it wouldn't help them if we reopened that. It just means that downtown doesn't move at all.
Yes.
Some people have suggested we do more one-way streets and things. I don't know. The state of California is not really easy to work with. So all state highways we have no control over. So we have to do something.
So you have to stick around for many more years so you
Well,
can see us through this.
Fortunately, the elected officials, the town council,
Yes.
they're the ones that are responsible.
That's good too, right?
If anything's wrong, take it to them.
So I got to tell you, two people nominated you. One of them was one of my good friends, Ron Calley, who I know is a good friend of yours too, and Pat Chappelle. And they both said such nice things about you, and they said you have stories. You have stories.
That's because I probably have told them stories.
So now I'm going to put you on the spot and
Okay.
share a couple of those stories. What do you want to say about Los Gatos? What, looking back, you've lived here forever, basically. Not quite, but in my
Yeah, it
terms.
seems like-
In my terms.
Well, and what's happened to the town? It
Yeah.
is forever. And when I moved in here in '71, it was a totally different town. A much easier town to do things in, and better shopping in the sense that it was more balanced. But we supported retail in those days. Through
Yes.
no fault of Los Gatos, it's
We
more difficult.
supported local owners.
But I think the one thing I say is it's still a wonderful community. It's just a lot more complex. And I'm glad I'm retired because I don't have to put up with all
Yes.
that traffic. So the stories would be, well, for example, our bond issues at the schools when I was on the school board. Those are very interesting stories. On the Planning Commission, I think the North 40 has been our biggest story in many years. There were two of us who voted not with the majority. The majority denied the project, or recommended denial, and then the council by a 3-2 vote denied it. I had said, because I'm a lawyer, that we would get sued, and the likelihood is we'd lose that suit. And unfortunately, I was correct. And now the council has voted 3-2 to give the North 40 a go-ahead. And the one thing I think that people haven't paid attention to is the state of California is taking over all local zoning. And if we didn't get the North 40, we would have had something that the state of California brought in, and it wouldn't have been pretty.
Yeah.
So I think that what they're planning at the North 40 is going to be a lot better than if the state people had done it.
Okay, so remember you heard that. Remember in coming years what Tom said today. Now, stores, fun stores. Were there stores here, back in the 70s that are no longer here and you say, oh, I wish we still had that store or a restaurant or someplace?
It was a very friendly town. I mean, I can think of local stores now like the coffee roasting, which people go to and you're relaxing, you're happy. But in those days, there were a lot of stores like that. Stationery stores, we had a grocery store right downtown, and everybody kind of knew everybody. And I remember the grocery store downtown, I think people could just charge it and put it on their tab. It was a much simpler world. And to me, I'm really glad I was young when I was young. So
I like that.
yeah.
I like that. So I lived in San Jose, still do actually, but I feel like Los Gatos is my home now. And I got my driver's license at the Los Gatos DMV. I think we all did back then. And I remember my mom, to celebrate, we went and had lunch. I don't remember if it was Sambo's or Baker Square then, now it's Holt's, of course. But I remember it seemed to be a rite of passage. We would go there after we passed the driver's license and just have a fun lunch. But there, you must have seen things like that then, and now they're gone, and they just bring back great memories.
Well, the whole Santa Cruz Avenue was full of shops that dealt with different needs, which we no longer have. The internet has, for good or bad, I don't know, has changed everything. And so now we'll have a different mix of stores. And we're going to survive, and we're going to do fine.
Oh, I think you are surviving. I think you are surviving. Such a pleasure meeting you. I want you to finish out your term as planning commissioner, and can you go for a 5th term?
Well, you can go forever, I suppose.
Well,
but I was surprised they appointed me for a 4th term, so I'm not.
Well, because
I'm
you're
not assuming 5th.
I'm not surprised at all. You're a good man, and
Well,
I'm
thank you
glad
very
you were
much.
nominated, and I'm glad to have you here. Tom O'Donnell, you'll see him around town. Wave to him, and go up and give him a complaint if you want. Right? Planning Commission.
Take all your complaints to the city council.
There you go. There you go. Thank you for being with us today. And if you've got a story you want to share, because everyone has a story, please let us know at kcat.org. And thanks for being with us at KCAT TV 15.